Okay, here we are on episode 7, I believe it is, of the Jrock ONSEN. And today, it's just myself, Mazo, and Nexus, because everybody else fucking abandoned us. With that being said, definitely gonna be a much shorter episode. Maybe try some experimental stuff with some more discussion instead of stories, because really this month was definitely a slow month.
Like literally nothing happened.
Not
or
literally
it did
nothing.
Happen, we didn't cover it.
That's a shitty way to put it, but some things did happen. And on that note, one of the things that did happen will be our first story. And that thing that did happen was the legendary Dir Grey went on ahead and revealed a track list for us for the Insulated world, which is their new album coming out on September 26th, which is getting a lot closer. I keep forgetting how soon this shit's going to be coming out.
Yeah, the tour is steadily approaching.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about that at all.
Yeah, I forgot that they're not coming to America.
They're not coming to America. No, they're not. Fuck.
They're gonna come. I think they implied something like that.
The one of the fan clubs or whatever, like the unofficial ones, is like, look out, they're gonna announce it any day now. And in my head, I'm like, no, they're not. Fuck off. But it's funny because the last show that they had here, after the show, I told my friends, I was like, okay, guys, next time we're going VIP. Like, we have to at this point. We've been to so many shows now. We just have to do the VIP just to get it out of the way, to have it done.
Yeah.
So I said that. And then they never show up.
Oh, Kyo totally felt it like Mazo wants to meet me.
Yeah, they're like packing up their shit, and I'm outside the venue, and I'm like, next time we're going VIP. He's like,
Kyo what, Nani?
He goes all wide-eyed. Yeah, exactly. Nani?
You're never coming back. Get on the plane, get the fuck out of here. We're leaving.
So what we're seeing with the Insulated world, it's going to be 13 tracks with 11 new songs. There's going to be a remake of Kigan, The Deeper Vileness, and Ryu. And they're also going to have a live performance of Ash and Beautiful Dirt, which were recorded on June 30th. I'm basically reading directly from the article here. So that's something to look forward to. That is a lot of new music from them. So that's a good thing. The tracks are mostly Japanese titles. I don't want to butcher the fuck out of them, so I'm not just going to read through all of them. Some of the English ones have interesting names, like Devote My Life is the second track, which I thought was a very strange track for Dir Grey.
Why?
It just sounds too, not happy, but like not metal as fuck.
I mean, you know how when you look at Kyo recently and he's like showing up at Sugizo's show in sparkly sunglasses.
I don't follow that kind of stuff.
He's I'm gonna say that he seems to be in a good place in his life. He's looking very happy and bright and wearing colors and shit. I don't know how that's gonna reflect in his music, because we sure do know that when Meiji Brace Genki is happy and not depressed and cutting himself, his music quality goes down. But hey, might be nice. I like happy Kyo, because sad Kyo makes me depressed.
I think there is a kind of, I don't know how to word it exactly, but there's kind of multiple personas to Kyo.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I feel, it might be wrong to say it this way, but the Kyo that we get in Dir Grey is definitely different from the one in Sukia Kyo. It's not necessarily an act that he puts on, but it kind of is. It's his stage presence. It's what he is being for this band at that time. It's the image he's promoting. And I feel like that's very different from who he truly is.
Of course.
And it's kind of his professional integrity that makes him that way on stage and in interviews and stuff. And I think depending on what he's trying to promote at the time, or whether or not he's trying to be himself, we might see different things. Like this sparkly whatever might be more about, him actually being himself. But then, the next day we might see him like super dark and whatever, promoting his next poetry book. Yeah. And then we'll see him all dressed up for Diru, and then we'll see him in a fucking fedora for Sukekyo. Like there's many sides to this guy.
Those are like his civilian Sukekyo looks, because used to be that for Sukekyo he would dress up weirder, but I think Diran Grey is kind of taking over the weird dress ups recently.
I think it goes back and forth in a way. I will admit I don't follow Sukekyo too much. I don't like the music as much. I mean, his vocals will always be great to me, but I don't like the background music as much. The supporting
it's too subdued, I think. It's like you keep expecting it to like get rolling, like with Diran Grey, and it just never does.
Yeah, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but most of the time it's not what I'm looking for. So therefore I don't follow it too closely, but I do listen. But, you know, let's move on from talking about Sukekyo and how beautiful Kyo is and all that good shit. And back to the Insulated world, we got the track list. And then I think it was like yesterday from the time of recording this, the day before, they announced or basically posted the album art. The album art is very different. I know you have some opinions on this, Nexus. My only opinion, just to get it out of the way, in a lot of ways, it reminded me of System of a Down, but then a little bit of Muse. To Western bands, if anybody's aware.
You're so totally right. I didn't know where to like put it because it's so different from anything that Diro's ever done before. It's super weird. But if you bring that up, yeah, that actually makes sense. It's super reminiscent of that. I honestly everybody that I know has been doing nothing else but memeing the shit out of the cover with ancient aliens and shit like that, and conspiracy theories, and like Kyo is enlightened, he's reaching the space brain meme. It's like when you, I don't know, it's often said don't judge a book or a music album by its cover, but if I look at the track list and if I look at the cover art and try to put them together, you know how a cover art is supposed to reflect the like feel or the album. You look at the cover art and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to expect?
Exactly. I feel the same exact way. I feel like, again, looking at the track list, looking at the album art, it's very hard to tell what this album's going to sound like. The only thing we know is that I think, is Utafumi on this one, or was that on something else?
I don't know.
Honestly. Yeah, we just know the singles that are going to be on this one, which those are two different singles, admittedly. They both sound different in their own respect. And then a lot of times I found in the past, for example, Arc, the two singles on there sound very different from each other and then sound wholly different from the album. It's just, when you hear a single from them, it's like, okay, this is a nice sound. Let's see what the next thing is. It's like, okay, this is different, but it's nice too. And the album comes out and you're like, this album's totally different. And then you get to the single while you're listening to the complete album and you're like, wow, that was a totally different change in mood and tone and everything. And then you get back to the album and it's just weird. Yeah. They're not consistent, and I think that's one of the things that I do like about them.
Yeah. Some people get bothered by it because they like to know what to expect from their band, but fuck it.
Exactly. It's the best. Like, you never know what Diran Grey is going to do. You just know you're going to love it.
Yeah, probably. It's with Diran Grey, it's you cannot really half-assedly like Diran Grey, only a little bit, which is low-key full of you because I'm not that passionate about Diran Grey, but like, whatever they do, I'm prepared to not judge it until I hear it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say. Even if you're not into them, you're very aware of them as long as you're tuned into the world of Jrock and Visual-kei, because they're kind of up there. Like, you just have to be. You're aware of it. You're gonna listen to a track or two. I guess that's really all we have on Diran Grey. We got the album art, we got the track list, we got some new songs coming, obviously, with this track list, some old favorites coming back, and then we got the singles coming out. It's coming out in multiple editions. They're doing that blue spec CD thing again, which I think this time I might jump for that one just to see how much of a difference it makes. I didn't do it with ARC. I just got the standard CD. I might go blue spec this time, and if I do, if I write a review for this one, I'll be sure to let everyone know blue spec is the fucking way to go. But if I want to get it early, I might have to just like iTunes it or something lame just because of shipping and all that. But so, you know, that's Diran Grey. It's my big story. They're doing things. What's going on in the VK world with you, Nexus?
Honestly, in the generic Nexus VK world, nothing much going on, but I got a story pulled up about what Gackt's been doing, aside from shit talking Malice Miser on foreign media.
Okay, that's not confirmed as official. That's just so.
Not official.
It's not official, but if you run into it, it is an interesting read.
Yeah, we're not saying it's official, but if you run into it, it surely is an interesting read. About what Gackt's been officially confirmedly doing is he's
about people abusing Gackt.
Yeah, he's gonna be starring in a movie again, which he's been doing a lot.
That one's official.
It's been announced in I think like April, but a movie's coming out named Tonde Saitama, based on a manga by Mineo Maya, and Gackt is on the news. So partly because he's gonna be playing an 18-year-old in this manga adaptation that is actually an adaptation of a yaoi manga, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to disappoint all of you and say that the movie gender banned the main character, so it is not yaoi anymore, which is low-key sad because who doesn't want to see Gackt play an 18-year-old in a yaoi adaptation?
I don't.
That's valid. He's gonna be in this movie that's coming out February 22nd, 2019, so it's not all that far away. He's super curious about how they're gonna make him look 18. Since it gets promoted so much in the articles, I don't think they are aging up the character. So he's probably going to be 18, played by Gackt, who's pulling 50. How old is Gackt right now?
I think he's in his 40s. I think he's like 46 or 47.
Gackt is 45 right now.
I was close, but he looks 12.
Not really. He kind of just looks like he kind of just looks 40, really. 40 with a very plastic face.
I haven't seen any like super current images of him. Like even the one in our article, I'm not sure when that photo was taken of him.
This one's older. He looks different now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Gackt definitely doesn't look 18, is what I'll say.
Yeah,
but I will also say he also definitely doesn't look 45.
That's also true. How augmented his face is. Let's say it's gonna sound super mean, but I'm gonna have to say that he half doesn't even look human. Like he doesn't age like a human would because he's got stuff done. So he kind of just looks like
amazing.
Super mean if I say he looks like a doll. But
he looks amazing.
I mean,
Gackt is a timeless beauty.
Yeah, Gackt is constant.
Yeah, when Russia and the US finally bomb everyone to the Stone Age, all that will remain is Gackt.
Sit in the rubble and be like, well, what now?
Like Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
He'd do a good Gilgamesh, just looking at him now.
The world has ended. All that is left is Gackt.
If they ever do a Fate live action, he better be Gilgamesh. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be nice. So he's gonna be in this movie. He's gonna be 18.
Honestly, if I look at the manga, I assume he's gonna look kinda like he did in Malice, because he seems to be some sort of a prince character or whatever it might be, like long hair.
Yeah, that's the image right next to it, right? I really wonder how they're gonna trans that over into modern film.
Kinda really want to see it.
We're going to one of these days, buddy. One of these days, we're gonna see it.
Mm-hmm. Well. It's about the
probably sometime around February 22nd, 2019, which is the release.
The Tuesday. Even though
is it a Tuesday? How do you know it's a Tuesday?
It's a
Why the fuck would you say it's a Tuesday?
Because it's February 22nd, 222.
That's just the lamest fucking excuse. That's just making shit up.
Yeah. Kinda.
Okay, well, since you're just gonna make shit up,
that
pretty much covers our big stories. There wasn't a whole lot that happened.
Well, there was stuff that happened, but the people that could talk about it are not here.
Yeah, that's the thing. So in Europe, is it in England where Hyper Japan happened?
Yeah, it's in London.
Okay, so in London, Hyper Japan happened, and we had like a whole fucking squad there, it seems like.
Yeah.
Our writers, our fucking founder, like everybody was there, except for the American guy and this Slav over here, and none of them are available for the podcast. So I honestly wanted to know more about Hyper Japan. I wanted to know what exactly it is, because instead of Googling it and reading all this stuff, I wanted them to explain it to us and any audience members who might be curious. But you'll never know.
Since we released all those videos of Sis wrestling with all of them guys.
Arm wrestling.
To hear more about it.
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling.
You say he was wrestling with these people. It sounds like they got in spandex and started just hugging each other.
Shit, I would pay to see that.
Hell yeah, man.
You could sell that.
So yeah, that was a lot of what happened this month was Hyper Japan, and because of that would have been a good chunk to cover, but it's okay, we don't have it. So this one's going to be short, like I said. So we're just going to jump into social media this time, because there really isn't any quick little bits. So
I mean, we could technically remind you that Kamijo's Europe tour is still happening, but that's about the only thing that I can tell you. We don't got any quick bits. Nothing happening.
There you go. If you want to see Kamijo, which you should, you can soon. Just be aware of it. And with that one, we'll jump right into social media. This month, we're talking about two things, since they're very closely related, which is the use of Jrock songs as ringtones and alarm clocks. And overwhelmingly, I say overwhelmingly, but it was a solid majority.
Yeah.
Of people said that yes, they do use a song for a ringtone, and yes, they do use a song for an alarm clock. Some people used to, and some people never have. But more than never having, some people either have or currently do have. Which, I even responded to this when I see my response in it. I have Uroko by Diron Gray as my ringtone right now. I change it probably every time they release a new song or album. Sometimes I'll even use like promotional clips for
Are you aware that Uroko is quite old and there has already been other stuff?
Yeah, but Uroko is really good. See?
It's
so really good. It's
so good that you ignored all the stuff that came after, right?
Always. Like if something really, really good comes out, it won't change for a while. Yeah. Before Uroko, it was a promotional clip of the single that came out before Arc, but I can't remember the name of that single off the top of my head. Yeah, it was just a promotional clip that I used, and then
I mean, you don't need all that much footage for a ringtone, so.
No, you don't, which is why that's one of the things I wanted to mention is I think that's kind of one of the reasons some people don't use them is because a lot of times the part of the song you want to hear is like somewhere towards the middle, and when the ringtone goes off, you're not gonna be a dick and just be like, I'm gonna wait until it gets to the good part.
I mean, you could cut it.
That's what I used to do. I used to cut mine, and when I was like super edgy, I had agitated screams of maggots. I had the chorus, I'll rape your daughter on your grave. That was not my ringtone. That was my text tone. So every time I got a text message.
It's valid. I do the thing because I'm lazy to cut them. I just pick one that's got an interesting beginning, and that's about it. Because I get 2 SIM cards, and for each one I use a different ringtone, and for one of them it's Malice Against by Nocturnal Bloodlust, which starts with Hero laughing maniacally. Which is
can I guess the other one?
Yeah.
Is it Der Konig, Der Dunkelheit by D?
Yeah, it is.
Damn, I'm good.
And then that one starts with, I don't know, Asagi doing cool shit with his voice. So
that's why those got picked for you, because the intro is really good.
Yeah.
So it takes the editing trouble out of it. So I think that's kind of a turnoff for some people. Like I said, is the middle is really good and they don't want to do the editing, but it's worth it, guys, to have like your little song play every time somebody calls you, even though nobody likes you and nobody ever fucking calls you. But at least, once every 6 months when you do get a phone call, it's a wrong number, you get to hear a good song.
Oh yeah. Only if you don't do the thing which I do, that is keep your phone on silent most of the time. So you got a cool phone,
as I got out of school, it was full volume all the time. I don't care who I disturb.
Full volume all the time.
Full volume all the time. They are forced to submit to Dear Grey whenever I want them to.
I'm looking through the Twitter responses about the ringtones, but not all the interesting stuff is coming up. Another Nocturnal Bloodlust, it's here. Break this fake. Get a secunda. That's great for a ringtone. Somebody is harassing Bido on our tweet. Please don't do that. Scapegoat by Deloitte. That's another good one. I would use that probably. But I think we can move to the alarm clock.
Yeah, so for the alarm clock one, actually, I right now I think my alarm is a song by Voodoo Kung Fu, which isn't technically Jrock. I can't say it's not technically Jrock. It's not Jrock. It's Chinese. So I have Voodoo Kung Fu right now, but in the past I have had Jrock ones. I did have I had an edit of Deluhi's Wake Up for obvious reasons.
Great.
So that one worked for quite a while.
I got Juso by Nocturnal Bloodlust again because they're just good for ringtones and shit like that, because I think Juso starts with Hero screaming. So
those are always good when it starts with the screams.
If you have trouble waking up like I do, that's something that's gonna definitely wake up the fucking dead.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if this happens to you, but I have had several songs as ringtones during my life, and it often happens that if I keep it as my ringtone for too long, I start hating it. And
that's strange. I don't have that at all.
Then I cannot even listen to the song like if it's not my ringtone, because I'm a night owl and I always stay up late. And when I have to
hear it later anyway.
when I have to wake up, I hate waking up. So each time I hear the ringtone, I get like sort of this panicky feeling like, fuck, what year is it? What the fuck? And the song, if you hear it enough as your ringtone, it starts associating itself with this unpleasant feeling. And then if you hear it somewhere, you get this unpleasant feeling subconsciously, and it's really unpleasant. And
go on.
It takes a lot of time to get rid of it. For several years, I used to have one of Mikaru's songs as an alarm clock. I think it was Call My Name by Glams. And it took me probably like 2 years to be able to listen to it again without getting the unpleasant feeling that I get that is associated with waking up to this song.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you did mention that, you get PTSD from these songs essentially.
Waking up PTSD.
Yeah, when I got my first job, which I'm still working at the same company, but I work a different position now in different hours. My shift started at 5 a.m. Oh
my God.
And I really didn't want to be late because it was my first job ever. So I'd set my alarm clock, for 4 or something. It doesn't take me long to get ready. So it was an alarm clock because it was much louder than my phone could get at the time. But I still had the backup of the phone playing the song just in case somehow I didn't get woken up by the alarm clock.
Yeah.
And even to this day, if I hear an alarm clock, just that generic beeping
oh my God
sound, I get really stressed out. Like I can feel my veins constricting, and I'm just like, I need to be somewhere now.
I
good.
Totally fucking know which beeping sound you mean, and it's
the worst. It's the worst. And I was like in line at a theater, and somebody had it as their ringtone, and I felt terrible when it happened.
No, I'm really, like, when you bring this up, I seriously feel like half our society has some sort of alarm clock PTSD, because this cannot be an isolated incident.
It's just extreme anxiety that you get from it, because you know you need to be somewhere like now, and it's just, it's no good.
No.
So I think that's a good defense or argument as to why you should have a Jrock ringtone or alarm clock. Is it kind of takes a bit of the edge off of it. It's less of get the fuck up, go, and more of, hey, I like this song. I better start my day.
You might need to be aware that you are running the risk of making yourself hate the song. So either change them often so you don't develop this song PTSD, or make it a song that you hate.
Yeah, that works, because you'll really want to get up and turn it the fuck off.
And turn it the fuck off. It's gonna wake you up if you start hating the song before of the alarm. Because of the alarm, nothing happens because you hated it before. Might be super effective.
It's super effective.
What about what some people said that they got for our alarm?
So the one that really stood out to me for obvious reasons was Philip mentioned that he has Audience Killer Loop by Diron Gray as his alarm, which I wonder if it's edited or not, because the opening for that one it's like that distorted kind of synth sounding.
Oh no, I would hate that.
Cling, cling, cling kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it accurately, and I'm not about to like make noises like to make the sound. That's not what it sounds like, by the way. That's what the intro is like. So I don't see that working very well as an alarm clock, but we have evidence here that it's totally possible that it does work. But then again, this guy could be unemployed because he never wakes up on time to go to work.
I see here that you're not the only one that came up with the idea of Deluhi's Wake Up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a Vicky.
Yeah. I don't. What's that kana right there? What are you doing? Man, I'm not good with the katakana, but the
Vicky is the name.
Kareuta.
Yeah,
Vicky.
Because the first one is a U with the double line, and
with the V. It's the V. V. Vicky. That's okay. Anyway. Deluhi's Wake Up for years now. So that's a champion right there. I'm going to go on ahead and like that with my mouse. Just send a little heart your way.
I mean, it's probably the perfect choice because the song is like really upbeat. It's thematic because, wake the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it is definitely upbeat. It's got its own kind of happy sound to it. I like the vocals in that one a lot. And I wasn't really a big Deluhi fan. I had a friend who was, which is why I was always carrying around a bunch of Deluhi. He got me to listen to that one. I'm like, you know what? Make a good alarm.
Do you like, if you'd never like Deluhi, do you like Far East?
Nope. And it's not that I don't like Far East design. I just haven't really given them a chance, I guess is a more accurate way to describe it.
You should try. I think they sound like something you would like.
Well, I'll look into it. I'll take your recommendation into account. I think this is actually a decent stopping point. We're at a good length here. Thank you to everybody who participated in these polls that we set up. We're setting them up all the time, and we like to see your responses. As proof of that, we'll name a name from time to time. And that's the ONSEN for this month. Hopefully next month we'll have more people and more stories, and we'll be on the freaking ball. But as always, I've been your host Mazo with my co-host Nexus. Okay, there we go. We got something out of Nexus, and then we got we don't have Sis, but we got we don't got MVT either.
We don't got it.
All right, guys.
That's me. Bye.
We'll see you around.